Hold on. Hey, y'all. This is Dr. Traci Harrell. Oh my God, I could not be more excited about this week. Oh, is there music happening? Oh my goodness, y'all. I cannot be more excited about what we're going to talk about this week. So, we have had a number of opportunities to talk about this living powerfully experience with positive intelligence. They have now, and again, there's 7 levels of living powerfully. Positive intelligence is literally level 1. So if you want to create a life of your dreams, basically we're saying there's a recipe for success. There's proven, scientifically proven methods for us to get this work done. And so we are excited to be launching, starting next week, another 6-week series. Free. Now, only reason we're doing it for free is because we do have some benefactors that are doing this work. So I get to show up for them, and that means I get to show up for you all as well. So that's the benefit of, I get to show up. And what I'm going to do differently this time is I'm going to show up every day, not just once a week, which we did here, but on social media. I'm going to figure out the best way starting next week to show up on a regular basis, to provide you with insight on some schedule, so that people understand that transformation, it's a lifetime. It is not just 6 weeks either. That's the other thing that is happening with the positive intelligence space. Positive intelligence has moved from, it's a 6-week program, and then you can grow to, it's a lifetime. I mean, it's always been that, but I think that the language wasn't very clear. And I'm okay to say to people, this is not for everyone, right? It is only if you're ready to truly transform, right? Like I worked with the group and I wasn't very clear the difference between training versus transformation. So I'm going to pull up some documents and share with you all today, because I want to offer this in community, but I don't want anyone to feel bad if you're like, oh my God, I didn't do it. Oh my God, I couldn't do it. Oh my God, I chose not to do it. Let's be clear that would be what would be happening. I chose not to commit to this for myself. It's okay, but I just want to make sure that the choice is clear. But I also want to make sure what you see is how you can truly transform, how you can transform your life in 1,000 different ways. And don't take my word for it. We're going to be bringing in special guests every week to talk about what they're doing to get healthier, happier, wealthier, and wiser, right? This is getting better together. It's all those things. So we're going to be bringing in special guests each week over this 6-week period, 7-week period. Actually, it's actually starting this week. So I'm going to kind of give you week 0. So everyone's on the same page. I'm going to start with, here is what success looks like. But I think what I have to share first, and Daniel, my techie genius, I may have to have you share some of these items with me. But what I'm going to start with is a document that is basically going to clarify the difference between training versus transformation. Like, we've all read books. We've all had conversations with people about what, transformation looks like. But what's really important is us doing the work. So I wanted to make sure that is very, very clear. So Daniel, you should have an email from me that has some documents in it, which I will try to share myself. And if I don't do it well, I'm going to ask you, Daniel, our producer, to lean in and do this work. So I'm actually taking a group in Tacoma through this experience. I can share a little bit about what their schedule looks like, because it really is going to be your schedule as well. So I'm taking the Workforce Central group through this process. So let me just pull this up. And so the schedule is going to be really clear. So we consider this week 0. This is me grounding you on what success looks like. This is me grounding you on the timeline, the commitment, what the focus is, and what we're going to be asking you to do to truly, truly transform. So the interesting part about this is, they agree to pay for these weekly videos. So the thing I didn't do for the last group that I brought to this, because it's extra money. So I'm trying to figure out, how do I create a space where community gets a lot of the benefit, even without paying, it's like $5,000. I have to admit. So they're contributing to their team. It's $1,000, right, per person to do this program over 6 weeks. When I take you through it, there's a special benefit where it's for the app. A year's long experience with the app. It's only $500. But then again, my services are additional, of course. But to get the app for an entire year is $500, and you get 4 family members added to that. So that's kind of like the B2B, the business to business benefit. So when you're working as a team, it's like, how do we benefit you as an individual, but how do we make sure that this really, really, takes hold? It's because we spend as much time with our family at work as we do with our family at home, right? We call them family, right? We got all kind of connections. So when you're able to take this home, this saboteur assessment, right? When you're able to take the conversation home, when you're able to truly do things differently, and people in your household are behaving differently as well, it really has a chance to truly be a transformation, and not just a training that you learn. Maybe you get all the way through, and maybe you're like, this isn't ideal for me. So what I made a mistake in my last group is, I don't think I was as clear as I could have been regarding what is required. The week 0 should have been, what do you expect? Let me tell you what this is, right? And I did that with their leader, but I didn't make sure each person was clear. So that's what we're doing today. Consider this week 0. And let's see what happens when I share my screen. Let's see if I do this well. Okay. It might be one too many. I have to find. Okay, there we go. There's StreamYard. Okay. So here's StreamYard, here's present, here's slides, and let's see what happens. Oh, they have to be uploaded. Daniel, could you upload the slides that I sent to you? I'll go ahead and share my screen for now. I'll share my computer and see what happens. I'll do present, and but upload the other documents if you could, the other PDFs. So I'm going to share the schedule. And then if you can take the other 2 documents, there's one called Training versus Transformation, and then there's like a week 0 link, which I'm going to ask you to upload as well. So for now, I'm going to share the schedule documents. It is a beautiful little PDF that is lovely. Let's just see. Hope for the best. Or I'll just tell you if it doesn't show. Let's see. So, is that it? Oh, he has something up. Okay, good. Thank you. I'll start with this one. Thank you, Daniel. Go put the schedule up next. Oh, he's so awesome. It's so great to have a producer. Okay, so this is the Living Powerfully experience with positive intelligence. And I feel like I've had this conversation before, but I think what I really didn't do is I wasn't as clear as I could have been regarding the difference between training versus transformation, right? When I say the difference is, training is again, the right column. The far right column says training. And you guys know I've been talking about Living Powerfully experience for a while, and I've said, hey, 20% of any transformation is the information that you get. It's like the training. But 80% of the true transformation is what you do differently. It is like, how do you get the true benefits of a transformation? It's how do you get that sustainable behavior change? How do you really build those mental fitness skills, the emotional intelligence? How do you really increase your resilience and your creativity? Not the information that you get, because we can all know something and still not tap into it. Positive intelligence is how are you tapping into the things that you know, right? How are you minimizing your saboteurs and increasing your sage? So it's a whole different methodology, muscle. And the mistake that I made with the last group that I was working on, I'm still trying to figure out how to make that whole for them, is I didn't, first of all, they didn't want to do the PQ app, and it's powerful. So I've also decided that I'm going to ensure that people are using the PQ app, or at least getting as much information from that as possible. So if you think about training is like, I tell you that I'm a level 5 tennis coach, which Ken is. My friend Ken is like a level 5. He was a pro, a junior pro, and he's exceptional. Level 5 tennis coach, and he's like, I could get you playing at X level in 6 weeks. And if by week 2 and 3 you're still doing forehand and backhand and serves, and you haven't volleyed across the net, you're like, this kind of sucks, man. I'm doing drills. I don't know if this is really going to work. And he's like, hey, you got to learn the basics. It's like learning to play the piano, right? Somebody has to teach you the scales before you can actually play a song, right? Because you got to be able to read the music, right? But you got to at least know some basics. And so that is what this is about. So some of it feels a little, it feels different. These are different muscles that we're exercising, right? Transformation is in the doing. So it's like doing this and doing it again and doing more of it and repeating it. It's like wash, rinse, and repeat. Yep, that's transformation. If you're really doing it, then it is transformation, right? And it may feel a little odd, which is why we got to kind of stay connected and celebrate the wins along the way. But training is about improving your skill set. So we're going to do that too. Like there should be information that you have that you can tap into, that you may choose to tap into. A transformation says, this is who I am. I'm different now. I don't even remember how I used to be before I had this full transformation happening. So this concept of having these short-term boosts in proficiency and knowledge, that's the right side. That's training. Limited impact on your long-term performance or your organizational culture is when you focus on training. Again, leadership training, software skills training. These are examples. Compliance training. There's some things you know and you need to check that box and be like, yep, I got that. But to really focus on the left column, which is really transformation, it's kind of the language that the PQ group uses around a transformation is about behavioral change, the sustainable, right? It's about your mental fitness, your emotional intelligence. It's an increase in your resiliency. It's an increase in your creativity. It's a decrease in your stress, right? It's an improvement in your relationships. It's all kind of cool things. Thank you. And can you pull up the other presentation as well? It's click on the link and then upload that as well. Thank you, sir. It's a PDF. I believe you'll love it. It's wonderful. Okay. So this is really important. And again, the impact, it's long-lasting improvements in your performance. It's in your well-being, and it's in your leadership, right? Or your relationships. What I love about this, it says it's both personal and organizational transformation. So you experience you enhance your ability to handle challenges with ease. They say with a growth mindset, but with mental agility. So it's really with ease and flow. Those are the words that I like to use. It's like ease and flow, because you might be like, what is growth mindset? Most people have read the book by Kel Dweck, Growth Mindset. But mental agility people know what ease and flow feels like, right? It's the opposite of stress and shenanigans, right? Ease and flow is like, okay, I'm feeling this. So PQ or mental fitness, right? That's an example of transformation, because we're like, it's a daily application use, right? Whether you use the PQ app, I also have a Living Powerfully app, which we're putting into community for free. That's kind of my way of saying, how do we do this? It's not the same. The PQ app is incredible. It is customized to meet your needs. It's based on your saboteur assessment. My Living Powerfully app is very different. It's information. It's going to have quizzes. It's going to create a space for community to connect. It's going to have great videos. It is not meant to replace the PQ app, but it does create a space for you to say daily showing up. You see me? This is me hitting the wall. Showing up, doing the work. So that's what the Living Powerfully app is going to do. And I'll demo that next week. This week, I'm going to focus on those people who are interested in actually contributing to your life. I don't normally sell anything, and I'm still not. But I do want to make sure, like, I get none of these dollars. This goes to the PQ. When I talk about the PQ app, it goes to them. It goes completely to the PQ community, but I'm a huge fan. And what I'm a really huge fan about is, if you've done the PQ experience before, wait a minute, hold your horses, because they've reinvented PQ. I know it was already good, but they realize that it's round about that week 3 and 4 where people are like, they're exercising these muscles and they're like, am I doing this right? Am I getting the benefit? Right? They're not sure if it's working. So you just got to press through those weeks. If people choose to press through, the breakthroughs are incredible. But if you're like, I don't think this is working, I think I'm good, right? Then you don't get to break through. And it is what it is. You still get information, but you don't get the full transformation because your brain, you have to rewire your brain, and that takes a certain amount of time, which has been designated to be around 6 or 7 weeks, right, of practice, of a certain amount of practice doing things differently. So I just wanted to clarify that because I don't think I've been very as clear as I could have been in the past. So just PQ transformation, right? 80% of the fix. When I say you can have the best, what language did we use? We said the best, most powerful, having the best, most powerful year yet, or you becoming your best, most successful, most powerful you yet, like having the best year yet, or you becoming your best you yet, all the same, right? I can't believe it's already October and we started talking about this last year, right? And so I can be perfectly honest. I'm not the same person I was. Like I can say that my transformation, I went through the masters, the 6-month mastery experience with PQ, and I am new, but you too can have the best experience of your life. You can be your best, your most successful you yet, but you just got to understand the difference is not training and the information, it's in you doing something different. So over the next 6 weeks, what you're going to see from me is everything you need to truly transform. I'm going to show up every day. Once a week, I'm going to be bringing in extra, people and videos and people who are living powerfully, who are getting better together. Like I said, getting healthier, getting happier, getting wealthier, and getting wiser. So all of that's going to be happening. But if you don't understand that this is about you doing the work, it's about you showing up differently, then the transformation is not going to happen. So one example of true transformation is really what we're doing with the PQ app. So again, the PQ app, the Living Powerfully app, which is our community app, or examples. And then you're meeting right, with your pod or your smaller group, or you're joining us here. Like you can come here every week, Mondays at 6 p.m. We're going to be so intentional here. We want you to ask your questions. We're going to coach you live. Like we're going to say right here, live. This is the space, the place for true transformation. So join us here, Rainier Avenue Radio, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the things, YouTube. We're putting it out into the universe. Y'all are not going to be able to say that I did not give it all I have. I'm giving you all I got, right? I'm giving it to you, full Monty. Okay, so again, back to the Living Powerfully experience with positive intelligence. This is about transformation versus training, right? So if you think about various aspects of training versus transformation, I'm gonna go through this pretty quickly. But if you think about various aspects of training versus transformation, right? If you think about what are you focused on? So the left column is, we're going to talk about focus is different. When you think about training versus transformation, the duration of the process is different. When you think about training versus transformation, the outcomes are different. Training versus transformation, the approach is different. When you think about training versus transformation, the engagement is different. I'm reading the left column, so you make sure we're all on the same page. Everything is different. So we can't be expecting training when it's only 20% of the equation. 80% is what are you willing to do differently, day in and day out. Do you understand what I mean? Everything is different. The engagement is different. The accountability is different. When you're thinking about a training versus a transformation, listen, I wish everybody the best. That's why I'm putting it out here. But I can't transform for you. All I can do is give you the information. I can provide you some content. I can create a space for you, a safe space. I can give you testimonial after testimonials about people who've had this experience. But the accountability to actually doing the work, that is a shared accountability, right? We're sharing our progress, we're sharing our challenges, but you're actually doing the work, right? Your transformation is about you. You're the butterfly, inside of the cocoon fighting your way out. I can't do that for you. And if I pluck it from the outside, I'm gonna mess up the whole situation. Have you guys seen that? Have you seen that where you have the caterpillar that's in the chrysalis sentence trying to bust out? Like that work pumps the engine. Pumps the lungs and everything. Like that whole process of transformation to get to a place where it's ready to fly, That is part of the work. That's the accountability. It has to happen from the inside out. I just want to clarify. So I'm doing the butterfly mode. The impact is different when you think about training versus transformation, right? The success indicators are different when you think about training versus transformation. The goals are different, and how we measure success is different as well. Okay, so let me just start from the beginning here. We got 3 or 4 or 5 minutes before we go to the first break. So I'm just going to go through this really quickly, and then I'll come back with the detail of what the next 6 weeks are going to look like, and then I'll give you the detail of what you're going to experience, kind of the kickoff, everything you need to understand, like what this is going to look like. Okay, so if you think about training versus transformation, when I say the focus is different, with training, people are focused on developing skills. They want knowledge. They want to acquire knowledge. When you are focused on a transformation, you're like, what is the root cause? This internal shift that I need to do in my mindset and my behaviors. Hello, Paulina. How are you? So really being in a position where you can truly shift. And Paulina, you're going to be one of the leaders. See, I got my Black MBA people up here. Paulina Johnson, ex-president of the Black MBA. You're going to be one of our leaders that we hope to take through this experience to really showcase for people what transformation looks like. We're going to be talking about leadership and all kind of wonderful things. So I'll stay focused. So thank you. But we do want you, this has to be about us, our collective voice, getting better together. So if you've done some things that you know you want to share with others, let's do it within this space. So being able to focus on the root cause, the internal shift, those behaviors, literally looking at your mental focus, your mental fitness, developing yourself differently. That is the focus. And it's root cause. So there's really only 3 things that we're asking you to do, right? We talked about this before, right? So it's focusing on the root cause of what improves your performance, what improves your well-being, what improves your relationship, your productivity, your leadership, all those things. It's 3 things. It's minimizing your saboteurs, increasing your sage superpowers, right? And being able to truly show up, right, in your full authenticity in a way that is with it is ease and flow. So it's those choices that we get to make in the moment. You're minimizing your saboteurs, but it's the power of self-command. That's what you're really choosing to do differently. So those are the 3 things. It's not a bunch of books. It's very super simple, but it's not for the faint at heart. It's not for the faint at heart. The duration is different when you think about training versus transformation as well. With training, it's time bound, right? It's typically some sessions, it's a module, you learn some things, check the boxes, and that's great. When you think about a transformation, it is ongoing. And the key part is that you integrate the transformation into your daily life, into your work life. And you do it either through the PQ app, you do it with some continuous practice, you do it with the Living Powerfully app, you do it with just thinking differently, showing up here every week for free and getting some stuff. I'm just saying, like, the PQ app is phenomenal. If you want the full experience, I just was working with, a leader, and I'm like, look, I can't even do this with you anymore. I don't want to do it with anybody who ain't willing to go all in if you're paying. Right? I'm like, just go all in and stop playing. Like, let me show you what success looks like. And so she figured it out. And I love that. I love that. So this is the same for you too, guys. You get to figure out aren't you worth it? My God, if someone told you that we have guaranteed solutions, wouldn't you be like, well, let me go all in and do it with some people who are going to have a good time? So I am. Let me see. I think my producer might be telling me it's time for a break. I think he is. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come right back, and we're going to be talking about not only the Living Powerfully experience, but what you can do to truly transform. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen. Speak Up Seattle. We are Rainier Avenue Radio World, the station that cares.
Don't ever forget. Hey, listen up. Fentanyl is everywhere, and it's deadly. Just a tiny amount, even in pills or powders you might think are safe, can kill you. You can't see it, taste it, or smell it. It's that dangerous. If you're not sure what you're taking, don't risk it. Talk to someone you trust, and look out for your friends. One pill can change everything. Stay smart, stay safe.
Mga kaibigan, ito po si Kuya Bert Kawili.
And this is Miles Salvador from Australia.
And I'm Norb Kawili, also known as Norbcam.
Kung gusto niyo po ang latest news and events from the Philippines at yung local Filipino community, Phil-Am Radio po.
We play Filipino music and interview guests from all around the world.
And I'll keep you updated on the latest Seahawks and sports news.
Kaya always tune in, Phil-Am Radio, every Tuesday, 1 to 2:30 p.m. Pacific Time on Rainier Avenue Radio App.
And in YouTube and Facebook. Salamat po.
Hi, I'm Paul Pearson of StarTime. Did you know that back in the 1930s, Rainier Avenue Radio operated out of a supply closet in the Columbia City First Bank? Well, times have changed and so have we. Now you can hear all the great Rainier Avenue Radio shows on our mobile app for Android and iPhone. It's completely free on the Google Play Store and the iPhone App Store. The Rainier Avenue Radio App.
Hey, community. Listen to New Hope Missionary Baptist Church every Sunday, 10:45 a.m.
We invite you to get up and call a friend and tell them that New Hope is on live. This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And now, our pastor, the Reverend Dr. Robert L. Jeffrey Sr. Everybody clap your hand, come on.
Listen to New Hope Missionary Baptist Church every Sunday, 10:45 a.m.
Come on down to the Columbia City Theater for our spooky haunted theater. See the ghosts, ghouls, and get the fright of your year. October 19th, 26th, and 31st from noon to 6 p.m. Geared towards 11 years old and younger. Visit thecolumbiacitytheater.org for more info.
Here with the Rainier Avenue Radio traffic update. You can listen to us in your car 24/7 anytime by downloading the free TuneIn app. Once you do, search Rainier Avenue Radio. And remember, do not curse out your fellow drivers. This has been your Rainier Avenue Radio traffic update.
Oh my goodness, y'all. I could not be more excited about this week. Seriously. So sometimes you got to just like pause and just, I need you to add the calendar back in. I think I took it out real quick. Let me see if I can add. Can you add back in the slides for me? If I click on remove, it looks like it's taking it out altogether. Okay. Oh, no, the other one. Sorry. Go back to the slide I was just looking at. I'll come back to this in a second. Thank you. Oh, I love having a producer. We love having people support us. So I just want to make sure, again, the purpose of today, of this experience, is because I had an experience with the group and I was not as clear as I could have been in the beginning. I was clear with the leader, but the people who were participating weren't clear that it was not a training. It was about transformation, which means 80% of the work was theirs. 20% was me providing some information. 80% is about the habits that they're building and us creating a space for them for us all, right? So when I put it back into community, we're going to start a whole nother 6-week series. We're starting, this is week 0. So next week will be week 1. So commit to showing up here. And I promise you, last time, like I said, we got videos that we did another community experience. It was slightly different. It was kind of a healing experience. This is going to be pretty much PQ style, straight up, without a chaser, as they say, right? We're gonna make sure you have everything you need to truly transform, to live the life of your dreams. So when I say the difference between training and transformation, everything is different. The focus is different. The approach is different. The impact is different. The accountability is different. How you engage is different. I think that's where I just left off. The engagement with training is typically participation. You got to join the training sessions, right? Congratulations that you showed up. No, right? Engagement with transformation means you're sustaining your commitment with daily showing up for yourself, whether you're in this app, which is paid, and a free app, which we produce, because I just had to figure out, like, how do we make this work for people who don't have $500, $1,000, or whatever it is to actually pay the Positive Intelligence crew for their app, which is incredible, by the way. So I have the Living Powerfully app, which we're building out as well, which is going to create a space for you to do daily engagement with community, people who are focused on getting better together. So again, it's all there. It's all free in the Living Powerfully app, but I do not believe that that is the best experience alone for you. The Living Powerfully app is great for community building. The PQ app is like, I mean, I say it's customized, and every day there's something new for you specifically based on your saboteurs. It's freaking amazing. And they've just reinvented it. So for the areas where it was a little bumpier, where people, it didn't keep people's attention, in the areas where it's like, oh, you got to practice. I got to practice for 4 weeks and then I can do some good stuff. Really? Yes. But now it's different. So they have these the PQ breaks include new Sage reps as well. So you'll see how the activation happens much earlier in the process. So the whole program has been reinvented. So I'm excited to be one of the people that can bring it to you right here. But again, if you can reach out to me, let me put my contact information in the chat. If you can reach out to me and you're interested in having Traci at itsallbiggerthanme.com. Great. If you want to take your team through it, if you want to have a leadership experience, that is awesome. If not, we got you. We're going to show up right here for free on Rainier Avenue Radio every Monday at 6 p.m. for the next 6-7 weeks through December 10th or something like that. And then I'll be in Africa for a month, at least 1 month, maybe 2. But before I go, I'm all in, y'all. I'm all in. So what's exciting is, again, let me just stay focused here. Engagement is different. The tools are different. It's not just instructional material. Here's some quizzes and some presentations. There are presentations. This is about you practicing mental fitness, reflecting, building habits. I know it seems odd. You're like, what? Yes, the tools are different. So the PQ app is very intentionally designed. And when you see the percentages, which I'll show you here in a second, it's guaranteed to work if you work it. It's almost like, you can't lose. It's guaranteed to work if you work it, guys. That's all I can say. So I'm excited. Anyway, so the tools are different. The engagement is different. The approach is different. The accountability, I already said, is different. The impact, let's focus on the impact. It's going to improve your competency in some targeted areas if you focus on training. But you are going to have it. It's typically temporary, right? You get some temporary impact if it's just training, right? And that's only 20% of what we're asking you to do here. We're actually asking you to really focus on you, to really focus on a different kind of transformation so that you're transforming as an individual, as a team. Hopefully you're transforming as a family. You might got somebody in your ecosystem where you're like, this would be great for us. And if you're thinking it's them, it's probably you anyway. Did you hear me? Whatever you think, this will be good for my XYZ, it's probably going to be great for you too, right? Because that means that person is probably, I'm going to go country for a second. When someone gets on your nerves, for example, or they trigger you, right? Or they cause your saboteurs. If you haven't taken the saboteur assessment, it's www. Let me just put this in here. .positiveintelligence.com. You could take the saboteur assessment on at www.positiveintelligence.com. When you get your results, you can email them to me. I'll be happy to offer a little free coaching, kind of clarify what your saboteurs how they may be impacting you. And you can tell me how they might be impacting you. That's kind of what a coach does. I don't give you the answers. I do have answers, but this is really about you creating an experience. So, we're gonna ask you to focus on success indicators. Again, compliance. Okay, I need to charge my battery. So in 1 second, I will do that. Success indicators. So when you focus on training, there's like completion of modules. Check the box. I attended. Good for you. No. Well, how we measure your success is, are you showing up in the app? Are you doing the mental fitness? Are you, there's regular weekly check-ins, right? Are you doing the work? Are you addressing those root causes? Are you seeing those saboteurs and choosing differently? Are you leveraging what we call neuroplasticity? Meaning you can create new pathways, new neural pathways. That's success. That's how we measure success, right? It's not about checking the boxes. That's nice. But when you're truly transforming, it looks different and it sure enough feels different. Let me just say that. There's some things I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I used to do that. And there's some more stuff I'm working on, but there's so many areas where I've transformed. And that's the beauty of this. You transform in this area and then you apply it to another area and you apply it to another area. And it's just, but you're learning in the first 6 weeks, you're learning an operating system that you can apply to everything. You don't have to stay with us every week after that. You can show up and you can be like, I love this group. I love this community. We're just basically saying you're going to learn an operating system that you can apply in 100 other ways, right? That's what we can promise you that. So the goal for training is short-term proficiency in specific skills. The goal for transformation is long-term transformation. It's mental fitness. The goal is continuous growth, ongoing, sustained well-being, improved performance, improved well-being, improved relationships. That's the goal. That's how we measure success. Do you look different? Do you feel different? Are you happier? Are you less stressed? All right, that's the stuff we care about. That's transformation. That's what we can promise you if you're willing to do the work. And the measurement, right, of training is typically, yep, I acquired this skill. Yep, I performed this task. This assessment is complete. And the way we measure success with transformation is, again, it's personal and it's mental. Yeah, your physical and your mental fitness are practice. You get better and better over time. Whether it's personal, professional, team, or family, it's all you. And you're a whole being. So it's a very holistic approach, right? Emotional intelligence, right? It's positive habit formation. It's about truly, changing, improving, really tapping into the best of you, right? You're not changing who you are. We're saying, oh, that stuff that you may have forgotten, that voice that you forgot to listen to, some of the things like that ease and flow. It's like, ooh, this is me. This is who I am. And I love it. If you could pull the calendar back up and we'll end with that. I'm going to bring this up. So again, I mentioned that I have the Workforce Central team. We're going to be connecting here in a few weeks, and I'm excited about that. We've already talked about Traci Harrell, who's the author of a book called Positive Intelligence. I'm going to have you guys take a couple seconds. Okay. So no, we're good. We're good. I just wanted to give him a millisecond to see the man in action. So Shirzad, again, he has done this. It's actually 2 million people have taken the Positive Intelligence Saboteur Assessment. 2 million now, which is exciting. This is the slide I really wanted to spend the most time with because, again, we talked about Shirzad Shamin. What I'm inviting you all on is the PQ program. We're going to go on this journey, so stay with us for the next 7 weeks. This is actually considered week 0. So for the next 7 weeks of practice, we're going to be establishing a foundation of mental fitness. So I'm going to show up. I'm not going to do extra stuff because the last time I did pull some other stuff in. I want to make sure people get the basics of the program, establishing habits, mindsets, and routines to truly maintain mental fitness for life. And maybe you're like, I'm kind of stressed out. I don't know if I don't have time. This is what most people say. People who need it the most say, Lord, I don't have time for this. Let me tell you about time. You don't have time not to do this, right? Let me tell you why. Go on to this next slide here. Within 6 weeks of practice, you got to do the full 6 weeks, though. You can't be like, 3 or 4 weeks in, you know what? I didn't see my tennis game improve. They were just teaching me the forehand and the backhand. We never pulled it all together. Yep, that's true. That's kind of how it works. Right. But what people who've gone through the entire program, who've like focused on their work, doing their internal work, this is what they experience. Right. Greater well-being. 85% say that they have experienced increased happiness. Happiness, y'all. Joy. Can you imagine? 85% of the people who go through 6 weeks, y'all, that's almost a guarantee. There's not much better percentages. Like 91% say they're able to manage their stress better. of people who've gone through the 6-week program. And again, it's with the app. The app is included. I got to make sure we're clear. We're going to give you as much as we can without the app, because there's another app that we're bringing in to play. But the PQ app is exceptional. I just want to make sure we're clear. But I just got to figure out how to get my community something that is exceptional, right? And I'm going to be measuring our percentages with the Living Powerfully app versus the PQ app, because it is different. It's going to be different. They're different experiences. One of them is basically, they're different, right? One of them has the actual modules. That's the PQ app. The PQ app is customized to meet your, like the content will be different for you versus your sister, brother, mother, you know, boss, whoever is doing this with you, because they have different saboteurs. It's literally customized for you. It's exceptional. And then you can choose all kind of focus areas with the PQ app, and it's a years-long subscription. So it really is exceptional. What we're doing with the Living Powerfully app, it's free. It's going to be free for everyone, and we're building that out right now. I'm working with Circle. And so the Living Powerfully app is going to be, it's a tool that allows you to do daily practice, to connect with people who are doing something similar. So it's going to be still a beautiful experience. It is not the same, right? So most people, I'm saying a guaranteed wonderful experience is both, right? PQ app plus the Living Powerfully app. That's the community side. That's like, how do you show up in community, connecting with other people, not just having an app, you know, an experience for yourself, but experience that other people can also benefit. That's what the Living Powerfully app is. It's like, once you, as you're having your experience with the PQ app, we want you to share it with other people. So they're like, oh my God, I could do this too. Like, oh my God, that person's experience, like they were doing what I was doing. They were having experience and now they're better. So we want you to show your improvements in an open app that anyone can get to for free, the Living Powerfully Experience app, so that we're showing all of these success stories. There's just too many success stories for us not to find a way to package them in a way that you can not only have your own experience, but also let your successes build upon each other. So that's exciting. That's the exciting part. They kind of work together beautifully. So look at this. Greater well-being, 85% are more happy, 91% manage their stress better, 83% have improved their self-confidence. Wow. If you look at the next row, it's about increasing your performance within 6 weeks. We're guaranteeing this. So when I say we're inviting you to be a part of something incredible, stay with me. We're going to be bringing leaders in that are leading, like getting healthier, happier, wealthier, and wiser. I got some people lined up the beginning of November and into like all the weeks. It's going to be incredible. So we got some amazing leaders. Like, yes, I'm committed. And here's how I want to show up for community, right? Here's my success story. And here's my words of wisdom, right? And how others can benefit from that. So it's exciting. So if you think about increased well-being, I think that's huge. Increased performance is also incredible. 90% of individuals who've completed the 6 weeks practice, they say that they're able to use their mental and emotional energy more effectively. 90%. It's incredible. These aren't my numbers. These are scientifically proven. These are people who've gone through the 6 weeks. 92% say they're better at teamwork and collaboration. Y'all, these percentages are ridiculous, right? I mean, come on. That's guaranteed to work if you work it. 76% say that they're able to improve. They've improved their ability to develop others. That means they're better leaders. They're better parents. They're better, sisters, brothers, husbands, wives, right? Whatever that is, like we're better at developing and supporting other people, around us. So if you think about stronger relationships, it says 82% have improved relationship. 97% have improved their empathy, their ability to empathize. And 84% say they're better at conflict management. Y'all, these percentages, I could stop here. We could drop the mic and turn and run away. These are guaranteed to work, but there's more. So, but I really just wanted to, what time is it? I got 13 minutes left. So guys, I just wanted to, and ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to clarify that if you were looking for something to do over the next 6 weeks that would absolutely transform your life forever, this is it, right? If you want to go deep, we can offer you the PQ app, which is incredible. But the Living Powerfully app, this is free. Like I said, there's nobody's asking you to pay for anything. We're just asking you to do a thing. And part of the Living Powerfully Experience app, as you're doing the work, we want you to talk about, this is what I've done. This is what I've seen. I've shown up for myself, and this is what I've seen. If you choose not to, that's okay too. But when you're able to move forward in a positive way, again, this works if you work it, but you got to do the work, and you got to kind of believe that it works along the way. You got to get through the 6 weeks. You can't stop week 4 and be like, it didn't work for me. You can, but you're not going to have the full experience, because it really builds on itself. So I'm going to talk a little bit about mental fitness. I think we've talked about this before, but it's about how do you respond to life's challenges with a more positive mindset rather than a negative one. So what PQ does is it helps you to grow your mental fitness, right? To thrive in challenging times, to see that every situation can be turned into a gift and an opportunity. It's true. And we talked about this already. We said that lasting positive change, it's 20% insight. That training part, what you know, what you learn, it's only 20% of a lasting positive change. 80% is actually doing the work. 80% is the practice of, it's the mental fitness, not with someone else, not playing tennis across the thing, but practicing your forehand, practicing your backhand, practicing your serve across the net. And then we can put you in with other people. But until you got those skills, it doesn't make sense to put you on the court, right? We want to teach you, these are things that you do for yourself to transform. And then we're going to put you on the court with other people, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that people feel the love as they're having these experiences, that they're feeling connected with other people, because that's important. If anything, you know, the Better Together Empowerment Series says we're better when we do this together. So I want to make sure people understand it's both things, right? It's yes and. It's insight, but it's practice. It's your work, and the people around you are having a shared experience, but it's your work. Just want to make sure we're clear. And this is what the PQ program looks like, right? And it's not just 7 weeks and you're done. It's an ongoing experience. But in 7 weeks, you now have a new operating system. You can go off and start playing tennis because you've learned the forehand, the backhand, the tennis, the serve, and all these other moves, right? The volley and the slam jam, ramity ram. Anyway, I don't play tennis that well, but you get what I'm saying, right? I have taken tennis lessons, piano lessons, right? You're learning the basics. So now you can go off and choose what type of music. Hey, I wanted to play rock and roll, and she just had me doing some chords. Every good boy does fine. Ding, 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 ding. Yep, that's what happens in practice. And then once you learn that and you have a proficiency there, then you can go play what type of music you want to play, right? Absolutely. So it's just know that week 1 is about energizing your sage brain, getting all that activation. Weeks 2 and 3 are about catching your saboteurs. Week 4 through 7 is really using those sage powers. That's a little bit different than what we had before. The way we used to talk about week 1 was the practice power of self-commands, which is still energizing your sage brain. That's when you practice self-commands. So this is a different language, really. 2 and 3s, catching your saboteurs, same thing, the judge and the accomplice saboteurs. So it is the same, just a little packaging, a little different. And then your sage powers. So it's a reinvented program, but it's still the basic same core elements, just packaged a little different to make it even more engaging for you. So what I'm excited to do is to, like I said, the Workforce Central team, I'm going to be taking them through an experience. And I'm saying they're guaranteed to be successful because they're going all in, right? They're getting the PQ app. This is week 0 where we're going to be saying, here's the welcome module. We're going to make sure everybody's clear what this is, training versus transformation. They get a chance to opt in or opt out because there ain't no success is the only option, right? So let's not be confused about what we're asking you to do. So that's kind of what week 0 is. Nobody's in trouble if you decide to stop right now. This is not what I thought it was. Great. Then you should pause and let somebody else do it, right? Or do it later when it's better for you. This may not be for you at all. It may not be the time for you, and that is A-okay. This is not for everyone, right? Everyone never reaches their full potential. This is like, how do you reach your full potential? This is one way that you can do that. And what's super exciting is that participants get to invite their family. When you go through this program with me, when you do this as a part of this B2B program, meaning business to business, so when I bring businesses in, leaders in, etc., not only do you get the program, it's $1,000, but you get 4 $1,000 plans, seats for your family members, because we know that you're going to be more successful when you bring your family through it. And you can either bring them through it as you're going through it, or you can go through it once for your first layer of engagement. Call it we got 7 levels of living powerfully. So level 1 is going through the 6 weeks, getting through all 6 weeks and living powerfully, right? So that's important. And then you can bring your participants in. So during the last week of December, like 9th, 10th, or whatever, during that time, the participants that are starting this week with me, they're going to get to bring their families in early if they choose, or can bring their families in at the end, right? At the very end of the process, and be like, okay, this was so good. Now I know I've been through it. Now I know who I can bring in. So it's good. There's no right or wrong way to do it. We're just saying this is what it's going to look like. We do have a breakthrough in Thanksgiving. They're going to be meeting on Thursdays. There's a break on Thanksgiving. Mondays are all open. So I'm going to be here every Monday, giving y'all everything I got. FYI, I'm giving you all I got. So here's a tour of the app, and you really don't need this unless you're going to go into the app, but I'm going to give you a quick little preview so you know it's the real deal. So when you think about Sage Accountability, there's a PQ app. You can download it. You just got to go to the, and you can't just download it, just to be clear. You have to have someone add your name to a list, so that you do have to pay for it. And if you pay for it through us, it's $500 as a part of a group. And then there's a coaching thing that we add on as well. So it's $1,000 basically is what you're going to find if you go online. Not that the app is $1,000, but when you go to the PQ app, they're going to ask you for the email that you used when you went through the process and when someone added you to the system. So just know that it's here for you. I just wanted you to give a preview of what it's going to look like, because unless you know, you don't know. So when you first go in, there's a welcome module, and it has little videos that you can watch. They're like 3 or 4, 6 minutes, pretty short. When you first sign into the app, you just go through the welcome module. It tells you what to do in the process. Every day there's a focus screen. It looks like this, and it has a very 2-minute audio thing that you listen to. Find the path of ease and flow. You listen to it. You're basically reprogramming your brain. So what you do is every time you do it, you're fueling your brain, and you can go and look, and you'll see in the app, you'll see that it's like fueling your brain. Does that make sense? So it's very, very engaging. Then there's a PQ gym where you can actually practice these PQ breaks, and you can practice them either, I think we've done PQ breaks before, where you rub your fingers slowly together, or you can squeeze your hand. So you're driving, you squeeze and release, squeeze the wheel and release, squeeze and release. It's like you pay close attention to something physical, so you're grounded in the moment. So whatever energy, stress that might be happening outside of you, you're like, I'm right here. The wheel is in my hand. I'm good, right? And you're breathing, which brings the control back to your prefrontal cortex. So a PQ rep is a beautiful thing. And this is a PQ gym where you get to practice. They're recorded things, kind of like guided meditations or whatever, but they're not meditations. They're guided experiences, right? But it is about you doing it on a regular basis. You're fueling your PQ brain. And there's some other charts I'm going to show next week, because it looks like I'm about to be out of time here. So there are modules. All of the modules are online. Each week there's a 1-hour video that you watch, and it's broken into like 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 little sections. But you watch, and it's spoken by the author, Shirzad Shamin. And then you have a community, your pod community, which again, for me on these Mondays, it's me with these groups that I'm taking through. It's them, right? It's their team, their work team. It could be you and your family. It could be you and one other person, but you're a pod. So you have an experience, you watch a video, and then you have an experience. And then I guide you through a deeper experience as well. We're asking you to set up your profile in this system. There's various settings, and you can get like notifications of what you need to do. And then you can also go on this on your desktop. If you don't want to go on your phone, you can go to app.positiveintelligence.com, and you can also do this to have the same experience online. So I'll stop there. The one thing I wanted to say is the reason we do this together is because we're 500% more likely to complete any task when you do it with others. Right, so we're accountability group, we're a support group, we're a celebration group. We're here for you to truly thrive Okay, that's time. I got the notice. Okay. Y'all, this is so good. So stay with us. 6 weeks, 6 weeks, 6 weeks. We are going to tear the roof off, y'all. This is about transforming, going into this year, your best self. Can't be more excited. Stay with us. Next on Rainier Avenue Radio is Lid Line. There's no lid lines. Thank you very much. Okay, that was great. We'll see y'all next week. Mwah. Bye.